In this video, I'll be sharing with you a simple tutorial on how to cut this stylish halter neck flare dress. So if this is something you like, kindly hit on the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up and leave your comment at the comment section. This dress is from Classy Chic Looks. So to start, here is my pattern paper. Now this dress is in two forms, the halter neckline and the flare part. First we'll be cutting the upper part, which I've gone ahead to mark out my basic measurement, which includes the shoulder to bust, under bust and waist. Now get the full length of your dress and minus your half length from it. So next we're going to go ahead to work on the upper part. Mark your shoulder divided by 2 and come down by 1 inch. After you're done marking that, mark your basic neckline of 3 inches on this point. After you're done marking that, go ahead to connect from your shoulder slope to the neckline of 3 inches. The next step is to find your chest line, and to do that is your bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5 inches, and I'll draw out a straight line here. Now after I'm done marking this, the next step I'll take is to mark my shoulder divided by 2. After marking that, I'm going to place my ruler and connect. Now I'm going to divide what I have at that point into 2. Come in by ½ inch, and at this point I'm going to go ahead to mark my bust circumference divided by 4, and I'm going to go ahead to connect from here to the midpoint of the armhole and to the upper part of the armhole. Now after marking this, the next step is to insert my body measurement. Outline my pattern and I'll insert my measurement. I'll mark my bust circumference divided by 4 and I'll add my sewing allowance. At the under bust of my pattern, I'm going to mark my under bust circumference divided by 4 and I'll mark my sewing allowance. My bust is 33 inches divided by 4 and then I'll add my sewing allowance. My under bust and waist measurement is the same, which I'm going to divide by 4 and add my sewing allowance. Now I'm going to place my ruler and connect, and I'll be connecting this all the way to the lower part of my pattern. Now after I'm done connecting this, I'm going to go ahead to use my scissors and I will cut this out. So the next step I'll take is to mark out my basic neckline of 3 by 3 inches, and I'll go ahead to connect. So after this, I'll proceed to cutting this out. So when I was cutting out, I didn't know that my camera shifted and I could not get the upper part of the dress. But this is just me just cutting out the excess part of the pattern where we don't really need. Now what I'll do is I'll place this pattern on another pattern paper and I'll add like 1 inch or 1.5 in front, which will serve as a zipper allowance. Now what I will now do is just to go ahead to trace out the sides and the armhole of this pattern, which I will now go ahead to cut out as the back pattern of this dress. While tracing it out, I'll make sure that the back neckline is not 3 by 3 inches but 3 by 1 inches. So I'll just go ahead and cut out my pattern, then we'll now go ahead to readjust it or to give it the halter neckline, which is in the actual design of the dress. So I'll just go ahead. So after I'm done cutting out the neckline of my pattern, the next step I'm going to take is now to go ahead to alter it to give it the halter neckline. So now what I'm going to do is just to go ahead to come down by 1 inch by the neckline. So I'm just showing you what my pattern looks like, the front and the back. The only difference is the zipper. So I'm coming down by 1 inch from the neckline and I'm going to go ahead to connect this down to the armhole. After connecting, I'll use my scissors to cut this out. So this is what I have. Now if you notice, the neckline is fuller. So what I will do is to go ahead to give a slash and spread effect here so that the neckline of this dress will be fuller, but whatever you're cutting will not get down all the way to the waistline, so that you can maintain the actual waistline of this dress. Now another thing about this dress is you can go ahead to use your actual waistline or add extra ease to it, because if you notice, a belt was attached to the lower part of this dress. That means the waistline is a bit free. So now this is the slashed neckline. All you have to do is spread it on your fabric, pin it down and trace it out. Also remember to cut out your piece of fabric that you create your channel where you're going to add your loop to. So for the back panel or the back pattern, I'm just going to come down by 1 inch here also, and I'm going to connect it to the armhole of this dress. Now after I'm done connecting this, for the upper part you notice that there's no zipper towards that side, so we'll be chopping out the zipper allowance together with the side of this pattern. So now, just like I said, at the chest line, which is also the armhole of this dress, I'll draw a straight line. Now from this part now, I'll go ahead to cut out the zipper allowance on this pattern. And I'll also cut out the chest line area, because if you look at the back of the dress, it is separate from the chest line area. The upper part is slightly different, or it was joined together. To also give the back neckline a fuller effect, what I'm going to do is also to go ahead to slash and spread it, because if you leave it that way, it's going to turn out scanty. So now I'll just go ahead to place my ruler, and I'm going to go ahead to cut this out and also slash this other side. So whatever you're slashing should not reach to the end of the chest line area, just the upper part, so that when you add your rope, you're going to have that fullness at the upper part of this dress. Now for the lower part of this dress, which I'll go ahead to take out the zipper bulge by marking 1/2 inch, and I'll extend it all the way to cut out. So after that, we'll now go ahead to cut out the lower part. So remember how we got the upper part or from the lower part is get the full length of your dress, then minus the upper part. Now the lower part will now be the remaining part of your dress, which you now cut in form of a flare. Moving over to the lower part of this pattern, so just like I said, you have to get like the full length of your dress and minus the upper part. Now the remaining length of this dress, you're going to fold it in form of a flare, and you're going to fold it into two. You can decide to fold it in form of a 360 flare, or you can use a 180-degree flare. So if you're using a 180-degree flare, you're going to go ahead to fold your pattern into two like a triangle this way. So I'm just going to go ahead to fold it this way, then we'll go ahead to insert our measurements. Now for the measurement, you need the round waistline plus your sewing allowance, unless you want to cut your flare into two and then join it back. Now if you're doing that, you have to like divide your waist into two and cut it separately. But if you're cutting it as one piece, you're going to just add your zipper allowance to your waist and divide your waist circumference by 2. So whatever you get, you place it here. So my waist is 28 plus 2 inches for my zipper, which will give me 30 inches. So if you divide it by 2, go ahead to mark. So at that point you marked, you want to go ahead to place your ruler and draw out a straight line. So from the part that is slopey on your pattern, what you're going to do is to go ahead to take the measurement from the tip to that point. Go ahead to place your tape from the tip of your pattern paper to that point. So whatever measurement you have, you're going to take it all the way around. Now this is to give your flare a roundish effect. Now all you have to do is to place your ruler, and you're going to go ahead to connect all those marks that you've made. So the next step is to take the full length of your dress. Remember, let's say the full length of your dress is 60 and my shoulder to waist is 17. So minusing that 17, now from this part we cut out, you now place your tape and get the full or remaining length of your dress. So let's just say that the full length of this dress is 60 minus my half length 17 inches. I'll be having 47 inches. So what you do is place your pattern, and you're going to take 47 inches round, but you're going to add extra 1 inch to it, like 48 inches, and you're going to go ahead to mark it all the way around your pattern. So you can go ahead to use the actual length of your dress. So I'm cutting this on a pattern paper, so I just had to use what what measurements that can fit into this pattern paper. So this is what your flay will be looking like when you open it. Now if you want to have a fuller effect, you can go ahead to cut out this flay into two. That is, you're going to use, so that 15, you're going to go ahead to cut out like 2 pieces and join it back, and you will have joining by the side to give you a fuller effect. Your half waist measurement, let's say your waist measurement is 28 plus your zipper allowance giving you 2 inches. You divide it into 2, giving you 15.